Elysian Fields. The thing about life is that you never know how long you have left. The days we took for granted, the hours wasted away, the minutes we spent staring at the clock all dwindle, fade away. My end came with a shower of sparkling glass, screeching tires, and blood trickling down my face. I'd like to say that the last night, the grand finale of my life, felt accomplished, a great finish to a well-written book. And I'd also like to say that I had told my sister that I loved her, that I had hugged my parents one last time. What I wouldn't give for a mere hour to say all the things I should have said, all the goodbyes I should have made. Alas, life is not so generous. I woke in a meadow surrounded by daisies and colored roses. A smile lit my face as I glanced around. The garden seemed familiar. A memory tugged at the back of my mind, although I couldn't quite grasp it. Well, a child no older than the age of 15 skipped into the field with long, tangled red curls tumbling down her back. She looked the image of my younger cousin, Jasmine, who had passed away so many years ago from cancer. Hey there, I don't suppose we know each other? You look awfully familiar. I had a cousin once who looked just like you, actually. That's because I am your cousin. Anna, I've been waiting for you. Her voice came out beautiful and sweet, like the first flowers of the springtime. Welcome home. Reaching out, Jasmine grabbed my hand, lacing her fingers through mine. She smiled at me, pulling me forward. I followed her, careful not to step on any of the flowers. Oh, don't worry about them, she said dismissively. The vegetation won't die here. See, look how they just spring back up once you pass over them. Is this heaven? I asked, finding my voice for the first time. Nah, this is just where you come to decide where you're going to go. The Elysian Fields, Tartarus, you know. You mean like in Greek mythology? I didn't know those places were real. I gnawed at my bottom lip, considering all the bad things I had done in my life. Oh, it's real, all right. We'll see. Okay, well, here we are. Gotta go now, so you'll be fine. Don't worry. We stopped in front of a small brick cottage. I turned to face my cousin, bending down to hug her goodbye. Will I see you again? I can't tell you, she said regretfully. I wish I could say more, prepare you better, but I can't. I've already revealed far more than the rules allow. Waving sadly, Jasmine just faded into the distance. Well, inside there were 3 women that were waiting for me. They were all dressed in flowing white dresses that reached their ankles. Each dress was embroidered with a unique design. Wordlessly, they stepped aside to reveal a projector, and they motioned to me for me to take a seat. So I chose a comfortable spot on the rug, curling into a little ball. Yes, one of the ladies pressed a button, and the movie of my life began. I saw all the special moments that I had forgotten all about. When I took my sister, Lucy, camping in the forest near the lake. My mother's smile when I got home from school in the evenings. Reading with my father in the living room. Sleepovers with my best friends. Tears dribbled down my cheeks as I watched all of my kind deeds, which far outnumbered my mistakes, and how they did not go unforgotten. The smile that would light up my sister's face as I read her bedtime stories. The hope that would glisten in the patient's eyes when I volunteered at the local hospital. All those hours that I had figured were for naught, they suddenly had meaning. I watched with pride as the story of my life continued before my eyes until we reached the scene of the accident that ended my life. Elysian Fields, or the choice of rebirth, the women declared in unison. I paused, weighing my choices. My cousin came to mind, lonely, yet full of life, and I knew what my choice would be. Elysian Fields, please. I couldn't stand the thought of being reborn into another family, having other parents and friends and siblings, and forgetting the ones that I had just left back home. The women nodded their heads simultaneously, waving goodbye. So it had been a month since the day of my death, and since the day that I had chosen Elysian Fields over rebirth. I had everything I could ever ask for. All I had to do was just wish for it, and it would appear. A castle devoted completely to me. complete with a set of servants, every toy and every gadget available, the most amazing wardrobe, and I couldn't be more miserable. I knew it was selfish. Back home, I would have died for this lifestyle, no pun intended. Honestly, though, having everything you could ever want took the joy from actually receiving it. Funny, I never thought I would say such a thing. At last, I came upon another decision. I would be reborn. It was a choice I should have gone with from the start. I should have known that paradise was not for me. So that evening, I searched for my cousin. I had completely forgotten about her in all of this excitement, but I finally found her sitting in a small little area by the lake. "You're leaving, aren't you?" she asked without turning. "I'm sorry, this place is just not for me." I sat down next to her. "It's okay," she glanced at me with sad eyes. "Everybody leaves eventually." "You can come, you know," I said softly. "No, I can't. I wasn't given the choice of rebirth. I got Elysian Fields because I was very young when I died. That's it. Rebirth is only for the really good people like you. Besides, I have a job here. It's to take the dead to their final destination." "Yes, but are you happy?" I asked. "Don't you see, it doesn't matter if I'm happy. I can't leave this place," she exploded. "Sure you can, you see. You see that river over there?" I pointed south. "The River Lethe?" she asked uncertainly. "Yes, that's the one. It takes you to your next life. It wipes your memory. All you need to do is jump in." She bit her lip. "Well, what if something goes wrong?" "I'll be right there holding your hand. We'll do it together." I stood, offering my hand. She looked up at me and she slipped her hand into mine. We approached the river together, a unit, refusing to be split up. Well, my last thought before I faded away was that if I had to be reborn, it was going to be with my cousin. 9 months later. Twins! Oh my, and such lovely babies! Look, they're holding hands. The doctor gasped, carrying the 2 babies in his arms. The mother smiled tearfully. "May I hold my children?" The doctor gave the twins over, their hands still interlocked. "Look, they're best friends already," the father whispered happily. "They must have known each other in another life."